Hi everyone. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to Cooley's 7-minute teaching tips. And today's topic is presentation tips. So I believe that today's topic will be useful for teachers and students. And we have with us many teachers from many universities and institutes. So let me share my screen with you. Okay, so let me walk you through today's topic. So the outline of the presentation is we're going to have introduction, and each speaker will have a chance to introduce themselves to you. And then we go over presentation tips, and each speaker will be allocated 7 minutes. And when they finish, they can pick the next speaker. And after that, we'll have some time for a Q&A, and we'll take questions from our Facebook if we have time. And we will end the meeting with some takeaways for you, for the audience. Okay, let's get started. So let me pick. Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna pick Ajahn Oil. Okay, Ajahn Oil, can you start your presentation? Oh, sorry. So Ajahn Oil, could you please introduce yourself? Can you turn on the mic?
Okay. สวัสดีค่ะ Hello everyone. I'm Thitari Jantawat from Pislo Vocational College. I have been an English teacher since 2000, and my courses will be English for Communication and Real Life English. Nice to meet you guys.
Okay, ขอบคุณค่ะ Ajahn Oil. Who's next?
พี่อ้อยค่ะ my sister.
Hi, Ajahn Oil, and hi everyone. My name is Oi, Ajahn Raviwan Bukpanhasmai. I'm from Cooley Chulalongkorn University Language Institute. I've been teaching for 16 years now. I'm feeling quite old. Nice to be here. Thank you. Next is Stuart.
Thank you, Ajahn Oi. I knew you were going to pick me. So hi, my name's Stuart. I've been living and working in Thailand for more than 10 years now. I'm also an Ajahn at Cooley as well. And I deliver lots of English for specific purposes courses to different faculties at Chulalongkorn. So I teach English to science students, engineering students, accounting, architecture, medicine, yeah.
And next is
Ajahn Mary.
Okay. Hi, I am Varita Ratanawaropat, or you can call me Mary. I'm originally from Buriram, and currently I work at Buriram Rajpat University as a business English lecturer. I have been teaching here for 5 years now. I teach English for communication, English for academic purposes, and listening and speaking. And it's nice to meet you all today. Next, can I pick Ajahn Chanidapa, please?
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna pick me, all right. We are neighbors,นะคะ. I come from Khon Kaen University, all right. Currently I teach in Khon Kaen University International College, okay. And you can call me Chanel, all right. I'm mixed racist. I think you can tell, right? I'm mixed Indian and Chinese and Thai, all right. And I've been teaching English for more than 10 years in various universities inside and outside Thailand. All right, and very happy to be here today to share to you guys, okay, about tips and stops, okay. All right, so I'm gonna pick Ajahn Jay at the centers.
All right, thank you ครับผม Thank you อาจารย์ Chanel ครับ I'm Ajahn T ครับผม and my name is Thitawat Jenwacharara ครับ I'm the teacher. Oh no, I'm the lecturer at the Institute of International Studies, Rangkampeng University ครับ and I teach in digital communication, and I have my fan page too. It is the PowerPoint Royal Gwen fan page ครับ So nice to meet you guys, and we'll see what the presentation tips that we can give you tonight ครับผม And who is left here มีใครเหลืออยู่บ้างใครยังไม่ได้เรียกบ้าง
Okay, อาจารย์พึ่ง
Okay, อาจารย์พึ่งครับ So please go for this.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Rungtip see so far, and you can call me Ajahn Phung. I've been an instructor for Pranakhan Rajapat University for 4 years, and I teach like experience in teaching many courses and also ESP presentations and English for communication, and also training in some courses. Okay, nice to meet you all.
Hi, and my name is Piriya Pongsarigan, and I'm a teacher at Chulalongkorn University Language Institute. I'm also a translator, author, and publisher. And nice to meet you guys here. And we also have with us Ajahn Golf Supagit Tiamtawan, who will be our timekeeper for today. So welcome Ajahn Golf as well. Okay, are you ready? Yeah. You gotta be anyway.
Yeah. We should be ready by now, right?
Are you ready
Yeah.
or not? But you
Have
have
no
to be
choice.
ready.
It's just like the first tip is like breathe, okay?
Exactly.
Okay. So I'll be switching back and forth. จะพูดสลับกันนะคะ ก็เดี๋ยวจะมีภาษาไทย ภาษาอังกฤษ อะไรอย่างนี้นะคะ ก็สปีกเกอร์ของเราก็อาจจะพูดไทยปนด้วย แล้วก็มีอังกฤษด้วยนะคะ
Yeah, for attention now, she may speak Indian, maybe.
ใช่แบบมิสเป็นแบบทุกอย่างเป็นแบบ multicultural มากๆอะไรอย่างนี้นะคะ โอเคค่ะ อาจารย์ออยค่ะ คือเซฟอะเลือกอาจารย์ออยไปแล้ว เซฟก็จะ stick with my choice เซฟก็จะเลือกอาจารย์ออยต่อไปนะคะ โอเค อาจารย์ออยค่ะ เชิญค่ะ อาจารย์ออยค่ะ
Thank you very much for coming, and thank you for having me today as well. Regard to the topic today, presentation tips. I would like to share you 2Ps, 1D tips. Have you guys ever felt scared of presentation or public speaking? For me, I have to say yes. Now I feel just like still be nervous. Fear of public speaking or presentation is a common form of anxiety. So if you guys fill out with my tips, you can overcome your fear for sure. As for 2Ps, 1D, they are preparation, practice, and delivery. I will start with first P, preparation. So you have to research your audience. Knowing the needs of your audience can help you tailor your presentation to target their interest and explain to them. And then you have to structure your presentation. Normally, oral presentation have 3 main stages. So the first one, as you know, introduction, what you intend to say with the audience. And then the body, the presentation itself, you have to make and organize them. And the last one is conclusions, what you have said. So if you prepare everything right here, 3 stages is perfect. And then you have to be savvy with design details. A good design can make or break presentation. If you haven't got the budget for designer, don't worry. Tools such as Prezi or Canva will help you make a great slides. It's free, and preparation is one of the most important parts for an effective presentation. And it can also help to control the zap, like now. Okay, well, now let's move on to the second P, practice. Practice makes perfect, right? If you prepare well before the presentation, you will feel more relaxed and confident while presentation, and it will also improve your body language too. You can rehearse in front of the crowd, take notes, time yourself, record yourself. Believe me, you will be better every single day. To get good at anything, you need to practice. Practice your complete presentation several times. Do it with some people you're comfortable with, like your friends, and you can ask for feedback. Considering makes a video of your presentation so you can watch it and see opportunity for improvement. For me, I always practice with my close friend. Okay. Let's focus on the last 1D, delivery. As for delivery, you have to greet the audience first and try to look confident and relaxed. But the important thing is smile. Like me, I always smile because I try to make it confident and make it feel like comfortable. Then you have to wait for the audience to focus their attention on you before you start. And begin by introducing yourself and your colleagues if you work with another. State the topic clearly and give an outline of what you will cover. Use your visual aid to highlight the main ideas as you progress through the presentation. If you get nervous, take a deep breath and use natural pause in the content to regain control. Remember that everyone feels nervous at times and the audience will be mixed like allowance for you. Conclude, finally, you have to conclude by summarizing the main points of your presentation, reinforcing the main points to help the audience assimilate the information. Okay, let me review you the key tips again before ending. 2 P's, 1 D, preparation, practice, and delivery. So if you get key things like here, everything will be perfect. I sincerely appreciate that I have had this opportunity to present to you. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณค่ะ ไม่รู้เร็วไปหรือเปล่าค่ะอาจารย์เซฟ
ดีค่ะขอบคุณมากเลยค่ะอาจารย์ออย practice makes perfect นะคะ คือเห็นด้วยตรงประเด็นนี้มากๆเลยคือถึงแม้ว่าเราจะพูดได้ดีอยู่แล้วคืออาจารย์บางท่านเนี่ยคือรู้สึกว่าตัวเอง fluent ไม่ว่าจะเป็นภาษาไทยหรือภาษาอังกฤษแต่ว่ามันยังต้องซ้อมค่ะ I'm not saying that you should be like heavily scripted but you always need to practice before you give a talk. Okay, Ajahn Oy ka, who's next?
For sure, I will use my beloved sister. Ajahn Oy ka, you're gonna be this one ka.
Okay. All right. I'm sharing my screen right now. You see it, right? Okay. All right. So now it's my turn. Today I'm going to share with you some attention getting strategies, because how many times have you begun your presentation by saying hi, hello, good morning, and following by your name and last name. It's boring, right? Because you could use some of the attention getters strategies to begin your presentation actually. So let me start by sharing with you the first strategy. First and foremost, you can begin your presentation with this technique called interesting story. By telling an interesting story to your audience before you start your presentation makes them interested in what you are going to say in your presentation. You could start by sharing interesting story about the current event, about the real situations that happen to a person, right? In real life. Okay. The next strategy is called telling a personal story, or what we call an anecdote. Okay, an anecdote is when you share your own personal experience or a story that used to happen in the past. It can help the audience make connection to you, and sometimes it can also confirm your qualifications about the topic that you are presenting as well. I have an example about this one. I could, when I want to talk about risk-taking activities, I could tell my own story. This is an example of my own story. Well, 20 years ago, I went to White River rafting near Yosemite National Park with a group of friends, and that was when I experienced a life and death situation after I fell into the water. And the water was very fast flowing and I was swept away. I thought I was dying. Okay, so notice that if I started my presentation using these tips, people would be interested in what I have to say, right? Now, another technique that you could use before starting your presentation is called rhetorical question. Right? A rhetorical question is a question that doesn't need an answer. So you kind of make the audience think along and also kind of make them, you know, have an answer in their own mind. They don't have to answer it like out loud. For example, I could begin a presentation by saying like, have you listened to someone speaking a foreign language and thought to yourself, well, I can do it. Okay, so you kind of ask these questions, but no one has to answer you. So this is another technique you could use. Another technique is called an audience survey. An audience survey. Okay, so you could see from the picture here, you ask the audience to raise their hands, right? So this is also a technique that many people use before they begin their presentation. And they require the audience to kind of, you know, move around or sometimes answer you by doing some physical activity. For example, hand raising or standing up, right? I could say something like, please stand up if you have ever had the opportunity to learn English by studying abroad. And then you expect the audience, some of the audience standing up, right? And some of the audience stay still, okay? Another technique, technique number 5 is you could give some shocking statistics, okay? Because by giving statistics, it involves numbers and figures, and you could make an impact, right? You could make the audience interested in what you are going to present next. And so they want to keep listening to your presentation, right? But one thing is that be careful. Don't use a lot of too many statistics, because people can remember only one thing at a time. Okay, for example, I could begin my presentation by saying up to 26,000 people are killed in road accidents every year in Thailand. Okay, only one statistics. And then you could go on and present about could be road accidents or some kind of dangerous activity, right? The final tips is using quotes. So you could see from these quotes, the secret is the secret of getting ahead is getting started, right? So a quotation are actual statements by famous people. So you know, usually we are interested in some kind of quotes from famous people, right? So this could also attract attention from the audience. Okay, or another quote that I can think of is from Spider-Man, right? With great power comes great responsibility, right? So now, remember, before you say what your name is, right, to the audience, these are some of the techniques that you could use to give an impressive presentation. Thank you.
โอ้โหขอบคุณค่ะพี่อ้อย thank you very much. Yeah,
You're welcome.
I was an ordinary English teacher until I got the Fulbright scholarship to teach Thai and study at the University of Philadelphia. Do you have any experience that had changed your life? Hands up. Did I do a good job พี่อ้อยแบบนี้ใช่ไหมคะ
Yes, good job. Good
แบบ
job.
นี้นะคะ
Such a good student. Okay.
That sums up. Okay, พี่อ้อย what's
Yeah.
next?
All right. Well, this round I would like to let's go to Ajahn Mary.
Okay ค่ะ All right. Before I start, I would like to say thank you for the Kulichula for an opportunity that I can share and learn all the tips from everybody today. So I have one question that it is why it's useful to develop the presentation skill. It is simply because most of us will have to give a presentation or speech at some time in our life, right? Whether we want it or not, or it may be for a school or for the work or for a conference or for the social occasion, such as in a wedding or maybe a party or a club event. The purpose may be to inform the audience about a specific topic or to explain how something works or it may, or to persuade people to change their opinion. Whether the purpose, anytime we speak to a group of the people about a topic, so we give a presentation. When we give a presentation, we have to think about choosing a suitable topic for the audience and deciding what we want to say, right? It's also organizing our idea for an introduction with a strong opener, a clear body with interesting information, and a conclusion with a memorable closer. Also, the body language by using your voice, your gesture, your posture, your eye contact, and your visual aids to connect with the audience. So these are things that we have to prepare for the presentation. So I have 3 useful presentation tips from my own experience to share today. The first one is telling story. So story help us to pay attention and to remember things. If you can use the story in your presentation, your audience will more likely to engage and remember your points afterwards. It is a good idea to share with a story. Think about what story are you trying to tell your audience and create your presentation to tell it while you're giving a presentation. You also need to remain focused on the audience response and react it. For example, I have a class that I told my students that, okay, next class we will have a presentation. And it was like in shock, you know, because they don't like it because they kind of fear of the presentation. And I just say like, okay, guys, calm down. You just tell me the story. You don't have to be like so formal or presenting. Just tell me the story or tell your friend the story. What would you like to say? What would you like to tell them to know? Just enjoy it and they like feel more relaxed, okay? And the second one is to relax and breathe and enjoy. This sounds really easy, right? To like smiling or relax, but it's many times when you see a lot of presenters fail it because, you know, we can't control when the time is going. If you smile and you make the eye contact, you feel relaxed, which helps the audience to connect with you and your subject as well. And it's also helps you to feel less nervous because you are talking with them in individuals, show your passion and you connect with your audience. Sometimes it's hard to relax and to be yourself when you get nervous. So if you find the presenting difficult, it can be hard to be calm or relaxed about doing it. One option is to start by concentrating with your breathing, slow it down and make sure that you're breathing fully. So this is very helpful for when you get nervous or when you get excited. That make sure that you continue to breathe during your presentation too. Breathe like take a deep breath. If you can bring yourself to relax, you will almost certainly present better. If you can actually start to enjoy yourself while you are presenting, your audience will be respond to it too. So it's makes like your audience and you go on with the entertain and your presentation will improve. So you will be confident and what a try for maybe relax, make eye contact or smile. And the third tip is to practice and rehearse. When you practice, don't forget to look for your tone of voice and your body language. Make sure that you are giving the right message. Body language should be a word includes like close your arms or hand held behind your back or in the pocket. Make sure that your gesture open and confident and move naturally. one way to improve your presentation skill is simply to watch a great presentation. So I think everyone knows about the TED Talk. This is the one that we can practice with the presentation, right? And you can watch the world's most inspiring presentation delivery in 18 minutes, right? Okay. All right. So this is all my tips that I have. I focus on the presenters. When you keep presenting, the most important thing is about you. So you are the main focus on the talk. So you can use your slide as a support and the prop. And the tip for me is the telling story, okay, and relaxing and practice and rehearsal. So you never regret to prepare too much or too often. Okay, be sure to end with a strong focus on your face. The most important part of you is your face. So then this is the show must go on. Thank you so much. ขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะอาจารย์แมรี่นะคะขอบคุณมากๆเลยที่เน้นย้ำว่าคือทุกคนก็กลัวแหละที่มาพูดกันเนี่ยอาจารย์ทุกท่านแน่นอนทุกคนกังวลทุกคน nervous but like we're scared but we're doing it anyway and that's the bottom line ใช่ไหมคะก็คือต้องสู้แล้วก็ต้องพยายาม practice ไปเรื่อยๆแล้วก็อีกอย่างหนึ่งนะคะชอบมากเลย just pretend that you are telling stories and you be more relaxed
Right.
โอเคค่ะขอบคุณค่ะอาจารย์แมรี่ who's next
Okay, all right. So I will go to Ajahn channel, please.
อาจารย์อย่าลืมเปิดไมค์นะคะ
โอเคค่ะ I feel scared a little bit from my slides. Okay, that would be too many texts maybe. Okay, I'll keep it short. All right, everyone, don't worry. Okay, today I will just tell you about my own tips. Okay, about giving presentation. Okay, with a lot of people or even sometimes online. All right, because we are teaching online, right, at this moment. Okay, so the first one, power of asking question. All right, from the Danish proverb, one who is afraid of asking question is ashamed of learning. Okay, so I think we should ask a lot of questions. And when you present as well, you can ask rhetorical question like you asked, and your audience may think about that, and they might have the answer inside, don't speak them out. Or you can just ask the audience to speak out, just to release the power of them, all right? Or maybe sometime when you ask question, it will create the curiosities, and then that the motivation for the audience to listen to us, okay? Or you can use the question as the side posting, okay, to just put your story into a big trunk, all right? For example, if you are about to talk about endangered animals, okay, and first you might ask a question about what kind of animals that I'm going to talk about today, and then start the first question. You talk about that maybe 5 minutes, and then another 5 minutes you might talk about where is the animals, okay, where are they, or where do they live at this moment, or how many left in the world, why they are still very endangered, or even now is still in a very healthy numbers. All right, so we can just use the question to separate, okay, your story into many trunks. All right, okay, so that's the power of asking question. Okay, and number 2, that will be the power of action. All right, I think everyone like action, because when you move your body, you will feel more relaxed, right? You feel like, oh, even when feel very excited, you will feel more relaxed. You feel like we can do it because we move already. And then if your body move, okay, your speech can move too. All right, okay, so power of action is not only the ways that you move your body, you use your gesture like this, or like this. All right. Okay. It's the way that you let the participant or the audience to enjoy with the action with you. Maybe you ask them to come to the stage and let them just do something, some activities, or do some kind of demonstration, touching, okay, something that you want to show to the public. All right. For example, if you want to show, okay, I try to pick something in my table here. All right. My palm, okay, like this. Okay. And then you can smell it, right? You can touch it. You can move it around. Okay, but it will be better if you ask the audience to come and touch it by themselves. Okay, so it's gonna be like all 5 or 6 senses that they can receive from the presentation. All right, pictures speak 1,000 words, right? When you show picture, it speaks many, many words. But when it turns to actions, it even speaks louder. All right, okay. So actions help a lot when you present anything, okay? Tell me and I will forget, show me and I may remember, involve me and I will understand. Chinese proverb, okay? And the third one, power of story. I think some ajahns just mentioned about anecdote, right? Yes, story is very powerful. Why? Because it can personalize, okay, some abstract things, something that we very hard to understand into something that touchable, concrete to us, okay? And if you say something like, Achan, I'm not a good speaker, many students, right? Say when we asked our student to speak up, Achan, I'm not a speaker, no, do not talk. But why can you talk with your friends? Why can you talk with your boyfriend, girlfriend, your family? Inside each of us, every single one, all right, is a natural born storyteller waiting to be released. So believe in yourself. Your story is powerful. Just pick the right story. Okay, that's matched to the topic or the presentation of that day. Use your own experience. Sometimes it can be some experience that you achieve, but it can be fun as well when time goes, right? Okay, and just maybe when we have noodles, we still put some sauce in, right? When we have hamburger, we still put some mustard, some tomato ketchup in. The same, when we tell story, present, okay, sprite it up with lots of story of your own, make it personal, all right? And maybe you can use a lot of comparisons, okay, or metaphor too, to make it just like more interesting. Okay, I would just like suggest you a little bit how to make abstract thing seems concrete, okay, by using or creating very easy simile, all right? If you want to explain about one abstract things, for example, love, all right, love, okay, you don't know how to explain that, then you need to pick something concrete or tangible, all right, and compare it with, or you can say something like, love is like what? Love is like medicine. It can cure every single disease, even COVID-19, isn't it, right? Or love, again, is like drug. We can get addicted to it very easy without any warning. All right, okay. So this is a very easy one, okay, about telling story. Make it personal, all right? People love things that's quite attached to them, okay? Number 4, sorry, I put the wrong number here. Quite a very bad example here now. Power of voice, okay? When you speak up, your voice can make things powerful or not, okay? It depends on your voice as well. You're gonna lower it down. You're gonna just put volumes up, okay? It's just the ways that you can make your story powerful or not. All right. And it's crucial that sometimes you need to speak with pause, stop, okay, and then you speak up about the important thing and then stop again. Okay, the stop means you just give the moment for the listener to think about it. All right. Speak. Pause a little bit before you speak about the important thing. Say the important words or thing and then stop again. All right. And sometimes the way that you lower or higher up your voice help to spice up your story as well. Sometimes using second voice, okay, can make your story more interesting. For example, when you change to be animal, you may use a very little voice, like very cute voice. For example, a dog. Please help me. I'm so hungry. And then you can just switch back again into your normal voice. All right. Don't be shy, no. Okay. Number 5, power of rehearsal. Practice always makes perfect,นะคะ. And fail to prepare. Prepare to fail. Okay. I'm so sorry. Prepare. P-R-A-P-A-R-E. Too many words, no, to fix. Sorry. Prepare to fail if you don't prepare yourself. Okay. Rehearse again with your window at home, with your friends that you can trust, with your parents, with whoever that you want to, that you have available. All right. As many times as you need it. If your friends need 5 minutes, you might need more than that. Don't compare yourself to others because everyone are different. All right. The last one, number 6, don't afraid to make mistake because the power of making mistake is always very obvious. Mistake make people grow up. Even with a well-prepared, well-organized kind of presenters can make mistake at all time. All right. Even though mistake about maybe you forget the script, you forget about what's to go next, you just nervous, cannot speak, or you pause so long, or you just cannot remember some small details that you really want to say it. All right. When you release your presentation, it's a time to forgive yourself. All right. Sometimes things cannot go perfect, even though you just, rehearse it so many times. Try very hard to make it very 100% perfect. But human being is far more than perfection, right? So embrace your imperfection. And if you fail this time, that will be maybe some other times. It's matter only this time you try hard or not. Okay, keep trying. And relax, calm yourself down. When you make mistake, keep going. When you make mistake, oh my God, I made mistake again. Stop panicking. Calm yourself down. Keep moving, keep going. The show must go on. And then that will end. All right. Okay, naha. So I think today you might get some little tips from my own story, because I have presented so many times. And I think that if I share my experience to you guys about my tips too, that will be beneficial for you. Maybe in the real future when you work or when you pursue your education into master or PhD level, when you work as a curator in a museum, when you turn to be a tourist guide, okay, or whatever that you're gonna be. Presentation skill is very important. It's worth learning and practicing. All right. Okay, Naha, thank you for your chance today. Kuli, thank you so much. And everyone, Ajahn, to share a lot of very valuable tips, for me too, not only for the listener, Naha. And I'm so sorry that I make mistake a little bit about my PowerPoint presentation here. alright โอเคค่ะ thank you so much
ค่ะขอบคุณอาจารย์ Chanel ค่ะ Let me sum it up here. Ask questions, make good eye contact, engage your audience, vary your tones of voice, and it's okay to make mistakes. Okay, let's pass it on to who's next. ค่ะอาจารย์ Chanel.
okay can I have อาจารย์ J again ค่ะ
Okay, it is the same
As a
sequence.
center.
สวัสดีครับ สวัสดี say hi to 51 people who are watching here, and I am Ajan T นะครับ I'll be speaking right after the channel, and I will go back and forth between English and Thai นะครับ สวัสดี 51 ท่าน ตอนนี้ 53 แล้วนะฮะ ก็มาเข้าเรื่องกันเลยแล้วกันนะครับ จับเวลาเลยก็ได้ครับ 7 นาทีครับผม So before I just come here, I just ask a question to my followers. What do you guys would like to listen about the presentation in 7 minutes? ก่อนหน้านี้มาถามในห้อง followers ที่มีเป็น open chat นะครับถามว่าอยากจะฟังอะไรมีหัวข้ออยู่สวัสดีหน้าม้าด้วยนะครับมีหัวข้ออยู่7 นาทีนะอยากฟังอะไรคำตอบที่ได้มาเอาเรื่องเหมือนกันคือ so they say they would like to hear how to present like you don't present it present ยังไงดีให้เหมือนไม่ได้ present โอ้โหยากเลยเพราะว่ามันจะไม่เหมือน present ได้ยังไงในเมื่อ present so this is a good question to me and I think it is going to be a good question to you all so let's try to think about this think along นะครับ how to present or giving the presentation like you don't do it present ยังไงให้เหมือนไม่ present ไปดูกัน before we do the presentation first of all we need to accept the reality that well, today, nowadays, we have many things to care about. We have many things to be worried. Like we have the jobs, we have the book to read, we have many things. And if we have to go to the presentation, we'll feel like, oh no, again, presentation again like that. Present ไม่เร้าใจใครจะไปอยากฟังจริงป่ะครับทุกวันนี้มีเรื่องให้วุ่นวายมากพออยู่แล้วถูกป่ะออกไปนอกบ้านก็ไม่ได้ใส่แม่2 ชั้นหรือยังอย่างเงี้ยนะครับมีเรื่องมากมายอยู่แล้วถ้าต้องให้ไปฟัง present อีกยากเลยจิตใจจะห่อเหี่ยวลงมาประมาณ 30% ได้นะครับ so we have work we have books to read and now we have to go to the presentation so let's say if we change this thing and we find out the secret of the way that everyone would like to listen to so มาแล้วทีนี้มันก็จะมาคำถามที่ว่าแล้วทำยังไงดีล่ะให้ presentation มันไม่เหมือน presentation มันก็จะไปจบที่ตรงนี้ครับว่าแล้วเราจะทำเรื่องยังไงดีให้ใครก็ตามไม่ว่าใครก็ตามเนี่ยอยากฟังนะครับทุกครั้งแล้วนะครับ so people we have the sense of let's say the humanity inside us we do not want something serious we do not want something like mathematics something like that because our brains are lazy as normal เรามีความขี้เกียจอยู่แล้วเป็นตัวเองครับเพราะฉะนั้นใครที่ขี้เกียจอ่านหนังสืออยู่คุณมาถูกทางแล้วครับคุณเป็นมนุษย์ที่สมบูรณ์ครับแต่สิ่งหนึ่งที่มนุษย์ชอบมากๆเลยก็คือเรื่องมันไม่ใช่เรื่องธรรมดานะครับเรื่องชาวบ้านครับเราชอบมากนะครับ we all do love story we all do love someone else's story so let's notice yourself guys whenever your friend just comes to you and say hey I have something to tell you will drop everything out and put your ears as close as possible to your friend's mouth to listen to the storyทุกครั้งที่มีเพื่อนมาถึงแล้วบอกว่าแกมีเรื่องมาเล่าเราจะวางทุกอย่างลงถูกป่ะด้วยความที่เราสนใจเรื่องชาวบ้านอยู่แล้วเป็นทุนเดิมถูกไหมครับเรื่องเราไม่ค่อยสนใจหรอกเรารู้ทุกอย่างแล้วยกเป็นเรื่องตัวเราเองใช่ไหมครับ so this is storytelling it is like other Ajahn said about the power of the storytelling การเล่าเรื่องมีพลัง but today I will flip all the thinking like some people will give you the tip about okay we can start with the story we can use the story inside our presentation do this do that do those another tip from me is here no it is not a trip it is not a tip it is the trick ไม่ใช่แค่ทิปนะวันนี้ให้ความลับเลยนะครับ so it is about we can change the whole presentation to be storytelling you don't have to be worried about like okay we can put the story at the beginning or we would like to put the story at the middle do not be worried so we will turn all the presentation sequences to be one large story how then เดี๋ยวไปดูกันครับถ้าเราจะเปลี่ยนทั้ง presentation เลยให้เป็นเรื่องเล่าทำยังไงได้บ้าง so at the beginning of every story we'll see the characters and we'll see the settings ใช่ป่ะทุกครั้งที่มันเปิดเรื่องขึ้นมามันจะเปิดต้นด้วยใครอยู่ที่ไหนถูกไหมครับ and then after that there will be what happens or what is happening. So this is the part that we will have the conflicts along the way until we reach the peak point นะครับหลังจากที่ใครอยู่ที่ไหนแล้วปุ๊บมันจะมีเหตุการณ์1 2 3 4แล้วก็ถับขึ้นไปถึง peak point หรือจุดที่มันพีคมากๆใช่ป่ะพอพีคมากๆเสร็จแล้วปุ๊บ so after the peak point there will be the closure and then conclusion. So these are 5 components of the normal story that you can apply to your presentation. อันนี้คือ5องค์ประกอบสำคัญครับของการเล่าเรื่องซึ่งเราสามารถทำให้ทุกอย่างตรงนี้เป็นส่วนหนึ่งของ presentation ไม่ใช่ส่วนหนึ่งหรอกเป็นทั้งหมดของ presentation ได้ทำยังไง So if we turn the storytelling like this to be the presentation, we can begin with what we call context. เราเริ่มต้นที่บริบทก่อนครับเราเริ่มต้นที่สภาพแวดล้อมและประเด็นที่เรากำลังจะพูดถึงนะครับเริ่มต้นที่ประเด็นก่อนนะมันมีอะไรบ้าง the current situation the current trend something like that and then we move to the point that we would like to talk about. So we just like project the let's say the environment first and then we go to the point and after the point try to raise up the point from the normal conflict to the peak point that you would like to talk about นะครับทำให้มันไปพีคซะจากนั้นมันก็จะไปที่คลี่คลายถูกไหมครับ the closure is like how you do with that point and after that it is the closing นะครับ or the result หรือผลลัพธ์ที่มันจะเกิดขึ้นนะครับ so if we can turn the story to be the presentation your presentation will not ever be boring again นะครับ present ยังไงให้เหมือนไม่ present เล่าเรื่องเขาฟังสินะครับจำอะไรไม่ได้เลยไม่เป็นไรครับจำไว้อย่างเดียวก็แล้วกันว่าผมชื่อทีนะครับทีทวัฒน์เจนวัชรรักษ์ครับผมก็ so I have my fan page if you would like to go for the detail นะครับ you can go to my fan page at PowerPoint รอยเล่มเกวียนนะครับ so I have provided the QR code over here and I intentionally leave 40 seconds here with this slide so you guys can grab your mobile phone and scan this QR code right now to click like and follow นะครับใครยังไม่ได้ไปกดไลค์เลยนะจ๊ะตอนนี้ให้เวลา30 วินาทีสุดท้ายครับผมนอกจากนั้นก็เป็นอาจารย์ประจำอยู่ที่สถาบันนานาชาติของรามคำแหงนะครับ Institute of International Studies รามคำแหง University ครับแล้วก็เจอกันได้ตามช่องทางนี้เลยนะครับมีอะไรอยากรู้เพิ่มเติมไปที่แฟนเพจครับ And in the last 10 seconds and I have to say hi to 45 people who are here with me and other อาจารย์ครับผม Alright so have a great day everyone and I hope you get something back home สวัสดีครับ
ค่ะขอบคุณค่ะอาจารย์ทีระหว่างเซฟพูดเราก็จะค้างไว้เนาะจนกว่าแบบอาจารย์ท่านต่อไปจะมา
จนกว่าผมจะได้ยอด follower นะครับ
โอเคค่ะเราจะให้ air time นะคะ presenting not presenting เหมือนเพลงแบบ Get to know ว่าอะไรแบบนี้เลยเนาะโอเคแล้วก็ I love your energy as well นะคะ
so it was rap is now
ใช่ก็คือเล่าเรื่องกันไปเราว่าตอนนี้เราถึงจุดพีคแล้วแหละคือความพีคของเราก็คือตอนนี้อาจารย์ทุกท่านที่พรีเซนต์ไปแล้วทุกคนโล่งอกสบายใจก็คือยิ้มสวยๆได้ให้กล้องแต่ว่า คนที่เหลือเนาะโอเคค่ะอาจารย์ที่ who's next
alright let's move on to อาจารย์ Stuart ครับ please be the next one
Thank you อาจารย์ที So I had to decide what I wanted to present, what tips I wanted to present today, right? And I started to think about what was the most annoying thing for me, both as an audience member, like a general audience member, but also as a teacher. And it came down to being reading from a script. So both when I'm just an audience member, when someone's presenting and they're reading from a script, it really bugs me. And also when I have a student presenting that I have to grade, it also really annoys me the most. And yeah, okay, reading from a script has both benefits, both positives and also drawbacks, also negatives. And so I had to think about, well, why does it annoy me so much? And so it came down to vocal variety. So when you're reading from a script, you're just reading from a script. You're not really talking to your audience. You're not engaging with them. The audience will lose interest. They may not remember or understand in the end the ideas that you're trying to communicate, the whole reason why you're there in the first place. So yeah, it has negative effects on the audience. And of course, if I'm a teacher grading you, then it's going to have negative effects on your grade. So when you're presenting, you use your words. So you choose words to help communicate those ideas. The way you use your voice will also be important. And you've got your body to communicate. And of course, any visual aids like a PowerPoint slideshow. If you start reading from a script, the words, the voice, and the body will all start to suffer. They will get worse. I'd like to present the next part of my presentation to you now by reading from a script. Negatives about reading a script. You're reading written prose, so you will sound formal and more distant. We don't speak in complete sentences, and the rhythm of formal prose is very different from the cadences of spontaneous speech. Actors train for years to be able to make written scripts sound real or conversational. Few people outside of the theater have this ability. Ronald Reagan had it, but he was an actor. Okay, so I was exaggerating there a bit, but hopefully you saw changes in my voice. The reason, so basically when you start to read from a script, you sound like you're reading. Your body language changes to, for example, your eyes looking at the script more often than looking at your audience. So the audience starts to lose interest because it sounds like you're reading and not talking to them. And it also looks like you're reading and not talking to them. And so you're losing these tools that you could be using to communicate the ideas that you want to pass on to your audience, those ideas that you want them to understand and remember. So if you're not, using your voice and your body in a way to help that, they may not remember or understand what you're trying to present to them. So I'd like to move on and talk about vocal variety. So vocal variety is basically just changing your voice. So you can get louder, you can get quieter, you can have a higher pitch or a lower pitch. You can also speak really fast like this, or you can slow down, and you can also pause. If you do all of those things together in the right way, you'll sound natural and you'll sound like you're talking to your audience. And that's going to be really beneficial if you want them to pay attention and to understand and to remember the ideas that you're trying to communicate to them. So at the end of the day, your aim is to sound natural when you're speaking to your audience, right? And having vocal variety, having natural changes in your voice, like you're speaking to someone, will really help that. So some tips on being able to get away from reading from a script and more towards just speaking to your audience. One would be stick to your level of English. Don't try and present using words that you've only just learned. Try and speak to your level of English. It's going to be actually a much better presentation if you're using simpler words, words that you know, but that you can speak to the audience naturally with. Don't think that you have to have every technical academic word, all the right words for that topic. Use the words that you know. Obviously, there are going to be very important words that you want to use that you may have to learn how to pronounce them, learn what they mean, learn how to use them in sentences, but don't go overboard. Just learn like really important words that you know you want your audience to be able to be hearing from you. Instead of having a script, have keywords. So I've been using the slides to help me know what to say next in this presentation. I also have a Google Doc open on the screen with me with a few more extra notes to help guide me through my talk. That's been enough to get the job done. Certainly not perfect, because one of the benefits of having a script is that everything is laid out perfectly for you. But that advantage gives way to the disadvantage of sounding like you're reading a lot of the time. And so really, to get natural, you just have to practice and practice and practice. And that's something that we've all been saying today and that you've heard a million times before. At the end of the day, the aim is just to be talking to the audience. So don't do things that don't seem like you're not talking to the audience. So my core message to you today is that vocal variety is very important, and you'll have better vocal variety if you're not reading from a script. And if you have better vocal variety, you're going to lead to a better presentation. Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you. I totally agree with you when students try to use academic difficult vocabulary that they never say, and it sounds so weird. คือบางทีเนี่ยนักเรียนมาพูดคำที่มันยากมากซึ่งนักเรียนจะไม่พูดอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะมันก็จะทำให้ presentation นั้นอ่ะดูสคริปต์มากๆแล้วก็ดูน่าเบื่อที่สุดนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นอย่าสคริปต์โอเคค่ะท่านสุดท้ายของวันนี้เชิญอาจารย์พึ่งเลยค่ะ Okay, sorry, you don't get to choose. Okay. No, I didn't.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Those are fine because the last one and also under pressure, like I ask questions myself, like, can I work on under pressure? Because I will be the last one. And everybody did a great job, and so seems like nothing left for me. Okay, so let me share something. It might not really different, but just sharing from experience, and also like maybe you get more tips or like more practice word today. So okay, presentation tips for me. The first thing that you have to prepare. You need to know yourself. Like what kind of presenter you are. Are you confident enough to present? Or you lack of confidence to do a presentations? Or like problems when you have to do presentations, or the strength and weakness, right, of your presentation when we need to speak in public. What's your problem? ต้องรู้ตัวเองก่อนค่ะว่าเราเนี่ยมีปัญหาในการพูดในที่สาธารณะไหมแล้วปัญหานั้นของเราเนี่ยคืออะไรนะคะถ้าเรารู้ตรงนี้แล้วเนี่ยเราอาจจะปรับให้มันดีขึ้นหรือเราอาจจะหาวิธีอื่นมาพุชให้เราเข้าใจว่าตัวเราเองเนี่ยจะไปถึงจุดที่เราก้าวผ่านจุดนั้นไปได้ยังไงไม่มีใครเชื่อเราได้นะคะนอกจากตัวเราเองเราต้องพุชให้เราก้าวข้ามผ่านจุดที่มันเป็นอุปสรรคหรือ obstacle ของเรา we need to cross it we need to go over it nobody can help you only you because I have my students they said when I have to stand in front of the class I lack of confidence so he know himself they know themselves then the thing that I can help them like try to make them speak more and more maybe not in public but with me first at start like personally like ask them a questions easily something like that and also after that after you know yourself then it will get better นะคะก็จะดีขึ้นถ้าเรารู้ว่าเราเนี่ยมีเขาเรียกว่าเหมือนจุดอ่อนตรงไหนเราก็จะสามารถปรับให้มันดีขึ้นได้หรือเราก็จะสามารถช่วยนักเรียนของเราหรือว่าช่วยให้เราเนี่ยพัฒนาตัวเราเองได้ดีขึ้นถ้าเรารู้จักตัวเองนะคะว่าอะไรเป็น obstacle หรืออะไรเป็นจุดแข็งของเรานะคะ The next one is identify the purpose เราต้องรู้เลยว่า we need to know what's the purpose of the presentation. This presentation is for selling. This presentation is for scoring. Or this presentation is for the exam. You need to know that.นะคะ the purpose. You need to know the purpose of presentation. Then you will prepare it correctly. Is academic presentations or it's like advertisement presentations. So the purpose and the way of presentation is different. So you need to know the purpose of it. And then provide the audience. Why we need to know the audience? Why do we need to know the audience? Many audience come in, right? Why do we need to know? So why we need to know the audience, because we can motivate them. Like many Ajahn said that you can motivate them or elicit them by the questions. You do not need an answer, but you know what they want from you. Then you ask first and give them later. And also gather the ideas. Get the ideas of the presentation. What is the idea? You need to understand your presentation. The key things is you need to understand your presentation. ต้องเข้าใจว่าวันนี้ today เนี่ย what you're gonna do, what you're gonna present, that's the key. Like every Ajahn said, storytelling is like that. But before the storytelling, you need to understand what is the key or the ideas of the presentation. That's it. The outline, it's easy, right? Because you need to break it like introductions or whatever what you want. And outline and also practice. You need practice. Every Ajahn mentioned this point, practice, right? And also if like Ajahn Stuart said, like reading a script is a problem with me too, because all my students always read it. And I always say to them, right, use the thing that you understand. Because even you don't understand how your audience understand, it's impossible. Because if you read it, make sure that you understand that. Because if you understand, you can use, like, you can change the word to be easier, or like you can use thesaurus or another words that have the same meaning but easier to understand. That's the part why. And also, like, you need to like the purpose of the presentation is quite important. You need to present, and this present need the audience to understand this one, right? If you present and no one understand, it's nothing. ใช่ไหมคะถ้าเราพรีเซนต์ไปแต่ว่าไม่มีใครเก็ตเลยว่าคีย์ในการพรีเซนต์ของเราคืออะไร this presentation is fail แน่นอน but if you present but easy words that you use to presenting without any script, smoothly practice, and everybody understand, success is key. Okay, practice is important, and also after practice and practice. And nowadays it's very easy to practice. Maybe you do not need anybody to help you. Recording the videos might help. Maybe mirror might help. Mirror is like reflect, like immediately time, right? But if you record the video, you will see the mistake. What's the mistake? And okay, I should pronounce this word again and maybe another things again and again, right? Because practice, it help you a lot. Practice is key too. So know yourself, practice, then finally you deliver this presentation to others. That's all. Thank you very much.
ค่ะขอบคุณมากค่ะอาจารย์พึ่งนะคะก็คือเราต้องรู้จักตัวเองรู้จักผู้ฟังรู้จักจุดประสงค์เตรียมตัววางโครงร่างแล้วก็ just go ใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ค่ะ
โอเคค่ะขอบคุณมากเลยค่ะทุกท่าน so far we don't have any questions on Facebook ก็คือจะมีแต่เพื่อนๆแฟนคลับของเราที่มาแบบช่วยเชียร์อะไรอย่างนี้ช่วยกดไลค์ขอบคุณมากๆใช่ค่ะเรียกว่าแบบหน้าม้า our friends and family on Facebook ขอบคุณมากๆนะคะที่ติดตามเราในวันนี้นะคะอาทิตย์หน้ามีอีก1ครั้งเวลานี้เลยก็คือ 6 โมงอย่าลืมกดไลค์แฟนเพจคูลี่ด้วยนะคะค่ะวันนี้ขอบคุณมากๆเลยสำหรับการติดตามเจอกันวีคหน้านะคะขอบคุณค่ะทุกท่านบ๊ายบายทุกคนบ๊ายบาย
everyone.
Good night. Stay safe.
Bye.